Hi guys, welcome to our next video of HTML CSS full course training from Code Learning Hub. So today we are going to discuss about HTML table tags. To create a table in a web page, we have to use few tags. Those are table, tr, th and td. So before we discuss about these tags, first we'll understand what a table is. So if you see a table is a collection of rows and columns. So we have 4 rows, so one for heading and the remaining 3 are for the details of the students. And we have 5 columns: serial number, name, age, gender and marks. So similarly, when you are creating a table using HTML, we have to create the table with rows and columns. Let's start with the example. Let's create one HTML file for this demo. So I'll write tables demo.html. Here I'm changing the title to tables demo. I'll write one h1 tag here, simple table. So to create a table using HTML, we have to use a root tag called table. To develop the table using HTML, we have to write the rows first. So in the first row, we have headings. We have to denote the row by using tr tag. And in the first row, we have headings. And for the data inside each cell, we have to write either by using th or td tag. Th is for heading data and td is for regular data. So I can write serial number in the first heading. In the second heading, I can write the name. And in the third heading, I can write age. In the fourth heading, I can write gender. Marks in the fifth heading. So this is for first row. And in the second row, we have the data. So to write data for the second row, I need to use one more tr tag. And to write data into this row, I need to use td tag. So th and td are for data, while th is for heading and td is for data. So as I just need to write the data for 3 students, I will use the td tag itself. Td for serial number it is 1, and for name it is Ritvik, and age it is 26, gender it's male, and for marks it's 87. Okay, likewise I'm going to copy and paste for the other 2 rows. In the second row, Mohan 25, male and 89. For the third student, it's Rohan 28, Rohan 28, male 84. That's it. So to see this in the web browser, I'm going to use open with live server link. Yeah. So right now I don't see any borders like how we have seen in this slide. So to get those borders, I need to use a tag called border. So that I need to give on the table tag. So I'll say border. When I say 2, see, so that number 2 is for thickness of the border of the table. So when I give 2, it is displaying like this. If you want to increase the border, I can increase it by giving the bigger value. So when I give 5, the border is thick. And if you see, there is a border for each cell as well. For each cell there is a border, and it is not like how we have seen here. So for each cell there is no different border. For entire table and cells we have just one border. To avoid that border, so there is a option here in the style tag, border collapse. So I can use that. So I'll write style tag here. Inside that there is a border collapse, and then write collapse. You don't see any border individually for each and every cell. So here in this example you see so much of padding for each cell, so that you can give by using cell padding. So for this I'll use cell padding. If I give 5, so around 5 pixel of padding will be given from all the sides for each cell. And there is also a style called cell spacing. So if you use the cell spacing, so even I'll give 5 here. Okay, so that will be visible when you have this border style, border collapse is set. So now you see there is a space between each cell in this border. So the cell spacing will be useful when you have the border collapse as separate. So to see the table as we have here, I can collapse the border. These are all the different tags and attributes and styles that are helpful to create a simple table. Now let's see, there are situations where you want to have one single column, and from that single column we need to derive multiple columns like this. So here in this marks section I want to derive up to 4 columns here, and here in the name column I need to derive 2 columns, first name and last name. So in such situation I need to use a attribute called Colspan. So this needs to be applied on a cell where that cell is a combination of some number of columns. Let's see this with a practical example. I'll write h1 tag here again, table using Colspan. Okay, I'll use a table root tag for the creation of table like we discussed earlier. Like I said, first I need to write about the first row. So first row is containing the headers, name, age and marks. So as it is a row, I'll use tr tag, and here as we are writing the headers, I'll write 3 headers. One is name, age and marks. Name, age and marks. Here we need to do one thing. So name is actually a combination of 2 columns, first name and last name. So that is when I need to write this Colspan on that particular header, where I am combining the number of columns. This name is a combination of 2 columns, so that's why I need to write the Colspan as 2. Age is just 1 column, and here if you see marks, it is a combination of 4 columns. So for marks, I will write the Colspan as 4. So that is about the first row. And the second row. In the second row, the columns are first name, last name. So as the columns are header as well here, I'll write first name in the first cell, last name in the second cell, for the third one it is empty, fourth one it is maths, English, social science, English, social, science. That's about the second row. In the third row, so the remaining 3 rows are for the student details. So Krishna, Raj. So in this row they are just data, so I'll use just TD tags. First is Krishna, second is Raj, 25, 85, whatever. So I'm going to copy paste the other two. So it is just a text. You don't see the same style because you haven't applied the border. So I'll go here and then apply to this table. Yeah. So this is exactly same as we have in the slide. Next one, Rowspan. When a cell is divided into multiple rows, if you see here, the name cell is divided into 2 rows here. Or you can also say the name cell is a combination of 2 rows. Similarly, marks cell is a combination of 4 rows: maths, English, social, science. That is when you have to use the row span. Table using Colspan. So I'll use a table root tag and then tr. Yeah. So in the first row, so I have name, first name Krishna Mohan Shubham. So I'll write name. Name is actually a heading, so I'll use th, and inside this I'll write name and then first name and Krishna. Krishna is actually a normal cell, so I'll write td Krishna. Shubham. So this is about first row. And in the first row, the name cell is actually a combination of 2 rows. So that is why I need to write the row span for this cell to be 2. That's it. And in the second row, so the name cell actually is defined already. So that's why I don't need to define this again. So what I need to write? The second one. I'll go to the next one, that is last name. So which is a th. Raj Kumar Garg. Next row, I have age, cell is empty. I'll write as is. Next cell is empty, so I'll keep nothing. The next one is 25, 26. So they are just data. So I'll write in td 26, 25. Next one is marks. Marks is in header, so I'll write in th. Next, marks, maths, that is also heading. Next, data, 85. 67, 78. And here the marks is actually a combination of 4 rows. That is when I have to use Rowspan attribute here and write 4. The next row, so as marks are already covered in the first, in this row, I don't need to write again in this row. So I'll just go with the English directly. It's not in th, it's td. So I'll simply copy paste it. But you have to write with the actual data. Yeah. So I'll write similarly for the other 3. Social and science. Again, I need to give a border to this table. Border of 2. Yeah. Next one. And here in this example, so you see there is a combination of span and Colspan. Means, so here if you see the timetable is actually divided into multiple columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and even lunch also 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And here this hours field is actually divided into multiple rows. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And even this project also divided into 2 rows, and even half days also divided into 1, 2, 3 rows. So now this table is actually a combination of Rowspan and Colspan. So we'll see this also, how do we handle. So I'll write h1 tag here again, table using Rowspan and Colspan. So I'll write a table. So in the first row, it is only the cell, and it is a combination of multiple columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 columns. So I'll write 1th, and I should say call span of 7, and it should have time table. Next row, so I need to have hours, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. And this hours is actually divided into multiple rows. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for this hours cell, I'll write a row span of 6. Here in this table again, I'll use the border so that it comes with the border. Okay, in the next row, so as this hours are already covered, I just have to write this social science, this row, and these are just data. So I'll use td social science math. physics, biology. Okay. Similarly, I have to write another row. So I'll just copy paste this row. And then we need to write lunch row. So in this hours already covered, so I just need to write this lunch, the and that is of header. So I'll write. So lunch is a combination of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. So in this, for this cell, I'll write the Colspan as 5. And you also have off day cell also is here. That is just data, so I'll use td of day. In the next row, hours is already covered, so I just need to write about this maths, biology, physics, social science. Maths, biology, physics, social science. And then project. Okay. The first thing, the lunch, actually the half day cell is actually a combination of 3 rows. So that's why for half day we also need to give row span of 3. Row span of 3. And in this lunch, after the lunch, in this row, maths, biology, physics, social science and project is actually a combination of 2 rows. So for project I need to write a row span of 2. Then so similarly I need to write 4 cells for these subjects, and project is not required because it is already covered here in this row, and even half day is also covered in the lunch row. So I don't need to write about this project and half day. These 4 cells are sufficient. That's it. Okay, biology is written twice. Now this is as expected. Yeah. So that is all about the table tags in using HTML. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye, guys.